All aboard, welcome aboard, and welcome back to those of you who have been following this. This is How Not to Game with Callie Jack. I'm Callie Jack, the gaming persona for the Dive Directs channel, and we're playing Max Chaos Friday Saturday game, and that is the DT1969 Max Chaos game. Down the road, we'll do other Max Chaos games where maybe I'll take one of the games I play some other way and see how much chaos I can do starting from a save point in it. We're looking at now at this as being the equal and opposite reaction, and we're just going to dive right in. Oldmouth is our area that is totally ignored in the mainline Fix-It game so far still, and I'm all the way up into the mid-80s. So that's going to be an interesting spot to try to serve, considering how it kicked off with just two stations down here, the train station and the two bus stations connecting it up. So let's see what we can do down here. We're going to expand the bus network quite a bit, and we're going to extend it out to the two parks in the area because parks are people generators. Unpause the game. Unpause the game. Unpause the game. By the way, this is episode 23 in the series. For those of you watching it, go through the playlist. I did have to adjust the playlist. Yes, I realized I put episode 17 in the wrong playlist earlier today. I fixed that. Give me a break. That was on the first cup of coffee, guys. We're on second pot of coffee. And I still can't face today. Oh, yes, I can. All right, so we've added in those. I did have to fix a break here. I found it in between. And I was like, is that a break? And yeah, it was. And I just left the fix off screen. So let's go ahead and dispatch some buses out here to start handling that traffic. So we need to take and do a special kind of bus. Well, let's get our garage open here if we can get it to open up. And what do we got? Well, I don't think the minibus is going to be as great of a in town as it is. The H-Trans, while it's a great bus, isn't. The megahertz might be our best bet for this. Lots of passengers, which is what we want, and 80 kilometers an hour versus 65 with 108 on the other guy. Now, we could do a joined bus with his back half, but he only gets 75 kilometers an hour, and he's $5.20 plus the penny, so $5.21 a kilometer. Nah, we're going to stick with this, 350. So we're just going to do him, and he's just going to take and do a quick race from the train station all the way out and back. And that's going to be, if I sound more peppy and better and not as froggy, well, that cold has finally been kicked. I hope. I thought I had it kicked once before and it came back, so we'll see. Let's go ahead and lay this guy out. He is the Oldmouth. It's the Parks and Rec bus. We'll just call it that. Launch him out, and then we will grab a minibus for what we're going to do next, which is just building a new line into town, and then we're going to take and put a stop right in here for the growth that the town has incurred. Yeah, right about there. And copy him backwards, and he's going to be the Oldmouth L. And it's a short bus, so we'll call it a short bus so that we remind ourselves that we never want to have it doing more than a few stops because it's got the smaller bus on it. All right, so that should give us some growth out here. Next up, we need to get passengers to Far Corner Basin out here. Oh, hey, you. I don't like you. I don't like that extra word verbiage there. There we go. Fix that. So Far Corner Basin pumping has been fixed, and we're going to take and build our train route. Blow that guy so that down the road we can utilize him however we want. All right, here we go. And this guy will also stop at least one of the two spots. And I think a good one would be to take and do the old Patrick's Rock. Now, the thing to look at is where does this guy get his people from? All from Oldmouth. So we're just going to go straight into Oldmouth. And we're going to pull right into the station here. There's really not much we can do to take and make this a ooh, tunnel. There we go. And then make certain we're connected up over here. Then we've got to take and make certain that we also have a way to dispatch this line. So we'll do a connection like that. Put a signal here and then come back and find where that nearest dispatch point is. So yeah, we'd have to figure out which one this goes into. I'm not going to mess with it. We're just going to take the risks. And I'm going to go ahead and, even though this is known to be connected up, there we go. Make certain he connects up the way he should. There we go. Everything's all squared away. We've got too many there now. But if I blow that single one and straighten him out and blow that one and straighten him out, that'll straighten out everything. So that we don't have all those crissy crossies. I'm just going to do the throat the way we've always done it. All right, we're looking pretty good. Speed up the line, and then let's go ahead and lay the train onto it right off the bat. What do we want to put onto it? Let's go ahead and throw on a Abro, and because it's going to be carrying to both of those two spots, we need them to be pretty good, and we need to put in our stations. So let's get those station platforms in. I'm going to extend that platform a little bit just to get it more people. Do one there and then do a 3 out here because it'll probably take it a while with being an Abro and only with a 90 click speed. We're going to send him first to town, have him stop here, have him stop here, have him stop there. From town, I kind of want to have that 20% that the Abro needs to make a profit. And really, by this point in the game, you should have a 33%. So let's go ahead and take him up to 33%. And our line name will be Old Demon Toe. And Four Corner. We're just going to call it the Skater. And he's launched it in. Now we can speed up the line for it to take and get us some decent speeds. at least up to what he should be for that line as we run him. There he goes. And up and in, and now he can do a dive over and do the fancy stuff depending upon where he goes to next. All right, now it's down to what else can we connect up? What else can we boost? Well, we need to get people out here to needs a name. By the way, needs a name. Leave a comment. Give me a name. As a reference, he's kind of, we also need a better name over here for Crystal Lot Motors and its plant crisis lots. All right, let's see what we got here. We need to take and do, where does he go to? Nameless and needs a name could both use names. Rendon and Springcross and Rendon and Springcross. Both of them 102 and Rendon. So, how do I want to do this? Well, I'm not going to take and tie up here. This is the long ones. That's where I need my fun. And we've got to avoid the duck pond. So we're going to do a horseshoe around the duck pond. Launch ourselves a 3-wide bridge. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Yes, I do want to do this. Watch this. Dig him down. Dig him up. Oops. There we go. Do our proper sloping. Dig a tunnel underneath there. Bring the line up like this and keep him on a diagonal for a little ways. So we got room to get the power in. I do want room for power. Do that. We'll fix it right here. Then how do I want to connect in at Rendon? Does Rendon really have a good station? It does, all the way over there. Springcross does not really have a great station, but we're going to build one. We're going to make this work. How are we going to make it work? Let's see what I can do. Do a slope there. Something like that. Bit of a hard turn. Leave him up in the air though and make it a nice little gotta get over it moment. Have to raise this. Yes, I am having just a little bit too much fun with this. All right, so we're going to take and get our rail bridge, run a rail bridge there, run a rail bridge there, and run a rail bridge like that. Do a couple of little Fixie connecties. Drop him down, bring him around to here. We're going to throw another rail bridge over a diagonal there. The chaos is starting to take and pay off a little bit more. Now it's just where do I want to tie into Rendon at? I don't want to use its regular station. You know what would be a fun one to do? Let's bring it into the scrapyard station. Oh, yeah. And then because we want to, we're going to do a dig down. Leave room in case we bring in another train for here. And that will get us what we need. Let's do the tunnel. This map's going to start costing us way too much money with all the tunneling we've done. I just know it. And you'll notice it does try to avoid the tunnels every once in a while on you. Be advised of that as you're playing the game yourself. That's going to be a tight spot to get into. Okay, and then just do a thing like this with a hard turn there. Fix that little break. Make certain we got our stations over here, which is a combined cargo and passenger. Never a good design, but at the same time, we're chaos. What do we care? See, we could have even come here and used this, but that's for down the road for other things. And that's not chaotic enough for what we're needing to do. And then end up here. Let's go ahead and get our speeds up. There we go. And now we can take and do a little bit of smoothing. Not much it's going to let us do, but it'll let us do a little bit of it. Kind of show off that we did these tunnels. And then come in along here and smooth it out a little bit more. May not be perfect, but it's still better than nothing. All right. We're set up. Let's get a train on that guy. Where do we get to tie him in at? You know what? I think we can tie him in. Let's tie him in right over here. Actually, we can do a weird dispatch line here. That connects up to rust proof. Perfect. And we've done dispatches across the alliance before, so that won't kill us. Jeep bridge across. Then show that it's a dispatch line. All right, now we can come over to main dispatch, regional dispatch, and I think we're going to put the higher speed. No, we'll put an Abro on it. I'm not certain how much we're going to get initially, so we're going to do a 2-tile Abro running about 80. He's going to start at Town and Races Yard, do his run over to Rendon West Station, then to here, then to there, and then backwards through our stationings. We could even throw in a station here for the Bunyan's logging if it will let us, and I will see. Nah, he's not part of that line. That's right. That's this guy here. So we'd have to take and expand this and then be able to take and do it there for the Blue Ox tar seeps. We're getting close to the point of no return anyway, so we've got our line in. We've got a new chaos thread strung through a couple of other passenger lines, bus lines. Let's call this the crude migrator instead of a smooth operator. And he's a rolling. And if we go to that line, the one thing I do want to do is tell it to passengers. At this point right here, I want 20, and at Rendon West, I would like 33%, so that we're making money. Sounds good, sounds good. Hit the speed button, see if he gets over here or if he's stuck somewhere. There he is. And he's going to load up to his 20%. It'll take a couple of rounds real fast, and then we'll see him take off probably. Next episode. Yeah, next episode. He's going to load slow. So we're going to slow it back down, hit the pause for till I see you. And we've got a new car shop that just came in, guys. There's a new car shop at Rendon with one new factory being the new dealership. So Rendon got another car shop. It might even be time to take and put a plane in between Rendon and Mallowfield when we get back. I'm Kelly Jack. This has been How Not to Game with Kelly Jack. Have a better day than I'm having, but I'm doing max chaos, so that's going to be tough, guys.